Hey, happy Thursday, everybody. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. I got the latest update on what's going on with this cold air and these snowstorms that is brewing up in January. We still have this low pressure over here just swirling around, and you can see all the storms it's bringing. It's bringing a little bit of precipitation. It's got cold air with it. It is bringing some snow with this as well, as these storms still going up towards northeast and bringing y'all some flooding. Creeks are getting overflowed and closed due to the flooding. So there's a lot going on over there as well. A lot of 1 to 2 inches of snowfall falling down. And we have over here for the North Dakota, widespread power outages across their coverage going on, and some snow as well, while we're still getting these storms on the northwest. Now let me turn off this satellite so you can see just the storms going on, not just what's in the atmospheres. Now you know why you're seeing snowfall coming down. Because this rain over here is going to start adding up all along the west coast, and this is going to bring flooding all across the east as well. We are getting storms across Florida, and all this is going to strengthen up. So update on your pattern, what's going on, especially if you've never been here before. Next 6 to 10 day temperature probability. All this gray is all your average. You're above average in the north and you're below average in the south. And that is because we're going to get a lot of these storms that's going to be brewing up on this jet stream coming from the southwest going towards the east. And this is going to bring a lot of cooler temperatures with it. Matter of fact, this is going to last for the next 2 weeks. Also going to move a little bit further to the north with these cooler temperatures while you stay average a little further to the north. Then after this, I'm seeing above average is going to kick right back in. At the same time, you can see the first 6 to 10 day with your precipitation. You can see the rainfall outlook that's going on because of this pattern we're in. And we also have some cold air that's going to be coming down. Now, this cold air is going to meet up with this precipitation as it comes down towards the southwest, bringing some kind of storms up in this kind of region and maybe bringing some snowfall. So far, the census is we're going to get that first storm in the Gulf. That's going to go out towards the east, bring y'all that extra rainfall. That second one is the one that's going to bring that higher ridge up to the north. So you can see the latest update with the Euro as you go for the next 4 days. It's not bringing a lot of precipitation. That's why that snowfall, wherever it's meeting with these cold temperatures, is going to be a small amount. Also is going to be turning into rain for everybody else, and it's bringing about 1 inch of rain over towards the northeast while it's building some up along the west coast. And there's not a lot of snow with this. You can see it's just maybe a low pocket of 2 to 3, 2 to 4 inches here and there. Very isolated. But then we're going into the new year with this new pattern that's going to be kicking in, and it is going to bring more storms down the southern side of California for the southwest, all across the south central, the southeast, and later on go up towards the northeast and cover more of the eastern U.S. But this is bringing a lot of rainfall towards the south, and this is helping with their drought as well. A lot of beneficial rainfall headed your way. You need more for northern Louisiana and northern Mississippi. Unfortunately, it's going to be more lower. Now you can see on the latest drought monitor, you do need it for Iowa. Unfortunately, you're not going to be getting what you need. New Mexico is going to be getting mist. Southeastern Arizona, you also going to be getting mist. Now over here for Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, maybe even western Florida, y'all going to get helped in your drought, but not for northern Louisiana, northern Mississippi, and not for western Tennessee. Unfortunately, y'all going to get missed. Everything is going to be more southern for the first half of January. It's going to raise up on the second half of January. But you do see we have warnings out now, all the way from January 6th through the 9th and for the 4th for the southwest for Southern California as this precipitation comes down, bringing y'all a chance for flooding. Also from January 4th through January 10th, all the way from the deep south all the way up towards the northeast. Now it's actually from the 1st and 2nd all the way through the 5th, and up here along the coast is from the 5th through the 10th. I'm sure they will update this. And you can see this on GFS next 10 days. Of course, 10 days will transition and move around. That is a guarantee. But you see how you got it coming down the west coast and adding up for the south, southeast, maybe going up towards the northeast a little bit. Not much. But after that, that's when we go into that big transition, bringing all that extra precipitation while we go into that deep dip with the cold air, bringing that big snowstorm and a lot of flooding for whoever's not getting snow. And you can see this on this pattern here. This is your NAO. You can see how it dips down all the way from the 5th all the way towards the 15th. This is also affecting what's going on in your pattern. This means you're getting that block in the NAO still, the North Atlantic Oscillation, bringing that cool air down. And you can see the cool air is not really going to be there for the first half. The colder temperatures are going to start coming in towards the second half. So really towards the 10th through the 15th is where the cold temperatures is going to go the deepest. So that first system starts brewing up is not getting a lot of cold temperatures with it. That second one from the 10th through the 15th will be a potential blockbuster snowstorm. And you also can see that after we go through the middle of January, as we go towards the end of January, that cold air is going to start retracting back. We are going to start going on a little bit of a warm-up pattern. But after that, February, cold air is going to come back. And I'm showing this is going to be for the southeast towards the mid-Atlantic area. Now you can see this when you look at your geopotential height, your 5-day average of what's going on with your below average temperatures, your above average temperatures. Storms coming through the south, going all across the southeast. But once you go past January 5th, then the cold air starts coming on in and you get really below average temperatures all the way through Canada, all the way through the U.S. You're getting that high pressure block, pulling that negative NAO, bringing that cold air down. You can also see this happening on Ensemble Prediction Center, the long range with the Euro, almost the exact same shot, guys. And you can also see it from the long range. This is by the 12th of January. You see it does move in and bring that colder air down. But after that, then the cold air is going to retract back for the second half of January. While you stay above average in this red area, you're going to stay average temperatures in all this gray. Then after that, you will get below average temperatures start to move into southeast as you go into the beginning of February. You're going to be average in the gray, above average in that red. But you see how like below average it stays in for the southeast and the east coast as we go through the beginning of February. So you see this when you look at your temperature anomaly, your 2-meter temperatures. So you have these above average temperatures coming in, guys. It is going to be a little bit of a warm up, but then you have these below average temperatures kicking in for the southern side of the U.S. That's because that jet stream bringing those storms. If you actually look, you'll see it's above average on the north. It's above average right below it. So above average temperatures is kicking in with some below average temperatures from these storms as we go from the 5th all the way through the 10th, bringing all these storms to the south side while you stay above average temperatures. Then once you go to the 10th, here comes that cold air all the way down towards the Gulf of Mexico, towards Mexico, still showing all these below average temperatures coming our way, guys. So here's your setup. As you go through the 5th, you have this deep dip on your EPO, your west coast, and you're starting to get these storms, all this precipitable water, building up all this Gulf moisture, bring up these storms all across the south, and to the east of it, bringing a lot of rainfall, bringing some winds as well, showing the first one will go directly out. But that second one, as you get that deep troughing going on, the very cold air, will bring that big storm coming from the Gulf with all that moisture, cold air on the west side of it, and that will start headed to the north towards the east coast and towards Canada. So far you can see the storm brews up on the 5th, goes across the south, brings that precipitation, goes across the southeast with more rainfall, while you get more storms coming across California, bringing more atmospheric river, more rainfall going further and further to the south. As you go all the way to the 10th, that goes up through the coast, still showing no snowstorm on that first one, guys. Always showed, if anything, it'd be a very small one, but it's not trending with the temperatures. The temperatures is coming with that second one as we go from the 10th and on, bringing that potential big snowstorm with it. So we do have a risk now of high winds from January 6th all the way through the 9th in all of this brown section. Showing with GFS that all this wind is coming up towards 40, 50, even 60 miles per hour wind gusts in this red for Washington, Oregon, going up through Montana, Wyoming, also the Dakotas. That's 50 miles per hour wind gusts in the orange, 60 in the red. The brown is actually 70. Higher elevations, you get them high winds in Montana. But look how it comes across the Central Plains, Great Lakes with the 40, almost 50 miles per hour wind gusts everywhere, but just little spots of 50 in the higher elevations as it goes out through the Carolinas. Pretty strong storm. Even showing that if we get that next one after the 5th, from the 6th through the 10th, that one's going to bring winds with it as well, showing to be somewhere across the south, going right up the coast also. You can see with the Euro, just with the next 10 days, which will transition and move around. But you see how it's just that light amount coming with that, a little bit coming with that clipper on the northern side. But at the same time, you see how that snow is starting to come a little bit further into the south than what I showed you yesterday. It's showing now chances of snow going into Texas, even chances going into Louisiana. All that gray is at least an inch. So when you try and see what the trend is, you can see this with GFS also bringing that lower down, higher elevations of Northwest and California. Y'all getting a big bombing of snow. Y'all need it. Matter of fact, California is below average, believe it or not, on their snowfall. But it is bringing snowfall towards the south central, across the Great Lakes, Tennessee, Kentucky valleys, all 1 to 2 inches, just a little swathing of snow. Now, GFS has been GFS. It's been all over the place. It's been showing a big bombing of 1 to 2 feet. Another run showed multiple snowstorms coming across into Canada, bringing y'all over a foot, while we still get that high ridge of this bringing a potential foot. I'm still showing this is a potential path, guys. Not really this much snowfall, but this is a potential path still showing that. Matter of fact, the update with a control member of the Euro is showing the exact same thing, a little bit heavier. Matter of fact, as it goes towards northeast for West Virginia, going to New York and northeastern Pennsylvania. That bright pink right there has gotten more. That's going more towards 2 feet of snow as it goes out. But you can see that southern transition of potential snow coming, maybe hitting the Carolinas. That's been trending, Carolinas. You might see a snowstorm for January. Matter of fact, when you look through all the ensembles going towards the west coast, you can see right here for your control member that all that blue is all 3 to 5 inches of snow, but it's for the higher elevations of Washington, Oregon, even over here for Arizona and New Mexico and California, bringing a foot of snow potentially for the higher elevations. And look at this, higher elevations of California, that is showing almost 2 feet of snow coming your way. Then as you check for what's going towards the eastern side of the U.S., you can see it is 2 snowstorms. First you have 1 storm, then you got that second one coming after the 5th, bringing your second snowstorm. So showing that first snowstorm coming around the 5th through the 7th. Will hit across the south, guys. Look at the control member, showing it will be Arizona, New Mexico, possibly over a foot in higher elevations, northern Texas, getting Oklahoma, all this blue is 3 to 5 inches, 7 to 9 in that purple, northern Louisiana and Arkansas, getting a good snowstorm coming your way, guys. Then that second snowstorm coming after the 7th could add up to even more in that path. Now, when you get that first snowstorm transition across the south, around the 5th and 6th, and the southeast and the mid-Atlantic all the way to the 8th. You see a lot of them is showing it might be too warm, but some of them is showing that snowstorm. However, the control member is saying that it will be higher elevations, of course, guys, but you see northern Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, Arkansas, and Louisiana getting in on that. Now, unfortunately, for the Central Plains and Upper Midwest, you can see right here for your control member, this is all going to be a lower jet stream. Your best chance when we go on that higher ridge from the 5th through the 10th, but it's not showing it's going to be hitting y'all on this one. So here's a better shot. You can see that first snowstorm coming on. You can see a lot of them showing some big snowstorms, guys. But you can see right here for this shot where it's going to be affecting maybe eastern Kentucky, West Virginia, western North Carolina, South Carolina, and northern Georgia. Then that second one comes in and might add a little bit more as that transitions up, go through Missouri, Illinois, northern Indiana, even Michigan, getting on that in the intercoastal northeast. Showing the first one for the northeast. You see that a lot of them show some pretty big bombings. But the first one showing it will stop around Virginia. You won't be hit. This will be after the 8th on that second storm coming from the 10th through the 15th, bringing that second snowstorm, potentially hitting the intercoastal of the Northeast and New England. Not along the coast. So far, that's not trending. Matter of fact, you look through all these, and all these ensembles is showing that the coast really is not going to be getting this snowstorm, guys. That's one thing that they all agree on pretty much. Now you can see with the Euro that this is bringing some cold temperatures. I will show you your next 5 days with National Weather Service. As you go through Saturday, very cold temperatures coming down towards the south, guys. But then it's going to start warm up a little bit, but then when you go from the 1st through the 3rd, then we got that cold air coming down again. It's just like I showed you in yesterday's video. Then it's going to go right back on a warm up. That cold air is going to retract back again. Now, the one thing that's really going to be bad is the wind chill. So for tomorrow morning, this is going to be awful all the way to the south. As you go through Saturday, all the way to the south, bringing a very cold wind chill, guys. As you go through Sunday, you're going to feel it as well. Now, after Sunday, you got it again coming from the 1st through the 3rd. More cold wind chills coming all the way to the south, all the way to the southeast, all the way to the 3rd right there. Now, after the 3rd, then we got some cold air moving through all the way to the 10th. And you can see this with GFS, right when you pick up where Euro left off, right after you go by the 6th and the 7th. These wind chills are going to start moving in as you go into the 9th and the 10th, coming all the way into our country. Here's the 11th. Look at this. This is your wind chills that you have moving not only through the U.S., through Canada. You're going to feel like you're negative 50 degrees moving through with these wind chills after we go by the first transition. Second transition is from the 8th through the 15th. Very cold wind chills coming down all the way to the south. But this is going to be some very cold temperatures coming through. Please prepare for this. Now, I got this link in the description for you. This is from National Weather Service. This is your next 5 days, low and high temperatures. That way you know exactly what's going on from legit meteorologists, guys. That way there's no argument amongst everybody watching. So you can see for tomorrow morning that you're going to be in these freezing conditions again across the south. You're going to be in the 20s across a lot of the country. You even have some teens coming through. And this is not wind chills, just your temperatures. As you go through Saturday, this is going to transition towards the southeast. As you go through Sunday, it's going to be there. As you go through Monday, it's somewhat going to be cold, but it's going to start lifting a little bit. But then you have the new stuff coming in. This is the first. This is the second, bringing in those 20s, even colder air moving through, guys. And not to mention the wind chills. And after this, you have more coming. This is only until January 2nd. So go to this page. You have your lows, and it has your highs for the day. I hope this has helped you understand what is coming around the corner. So all the way to the 5th of January, we have this cold air coming in again, all the way to the south, all the way to the southeast, and everyone else above is going to be even colder. Wind chills are going to be really nasty. Then when you go from the 5th through the 10th, this is where it's going to bring the option for this big snowstorm coming to the U.S. So we'll keep you updated. Make sure you click that bell. And a quick message as you go on through your day, everybody. Isaiah 60, 1 through 3. Arise, shine, for thy light is come, and the glory of the Lord is risen upon thee. For behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people. But the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. And the Gentiles shall come to thy light, and kings to the brightness of thy rising. Amen. Hope you have a very great day today. I will see you all again for tomorrow, for Friday. Remember, all glory always goes to God, our Father in heaven, Yahweh. And I hope he always blesses you and keeps you safe every single day of your life, you and your family, and forever. Amen. Hallelujah. Amen. Have a great day, everybody.